What's up, guys? We got a very important video for you guys today. We're going to talk about this beta male simp epidemic, which is probably one of the worst epidemics that we have seen hit the Western world in hundreds of years. And if you guys don't know what a simp is, pretty much a simp is just a man who gives an unreciprocal amount of effort and attention to a woman. Unreciprocal just meaning that she doesn't give him the same amount of effort and attention as the man gives her. So I'm sure, as I just defined that term for you guys, thousands of guys are popping in your head right now of possible simps, possible beta males. And a beta male is really just it's kind of just a simp. They're almost synonymous. They're almost the same thing. I don't even know if I have to define a beta male. Somebody that's afraid to voice their opinion, that kind of just conforms to society. So, yeah, anything feminine that you could think of, you kind of wrap that into being a beta male. So, we're having a big simp epidemic, and it's a problem. And the reason it's such a big problem is because, women are just using them for attention, which always happened, by the way. This has always been going on in the world, but women are using them as for attention, and they're using them um pretty much as a boyfriend placeholder, and they're just using them up. And it kind of procrastinates, it kind of stunts the woman's actual what her actual relationship would be in the real world. So if she's sitting here with this gesture, when in reality she should have been like, you know, trying to lose weight or trying to look better for the guy of her dreams. She should be on that road to the guy of her dreams. But instead, she's studying that whole progression for this beta male this beta male simp, you know? And beta male simps, they're really dangerous people too, because they're beta males, so they're really emotional. You know, they can't really control their emotions too well. They're the type of guy that, if you say no to them on a date or something, if they try to have sex with you and you say no, like they just can't, they just lash out. They can't take it. They're the type of guys that, you know, like they see Donald Trump and they see him saying like unapologetically just saying whatever he wants to say, not politically correct at all. And they see that and they're just furious. They're furious because that's what they want to do deep down. But maybe they don't have the facilities to get that done. They don't have the delivery to do it. They don't have I don't know, they don't have, it's just not in them. It's not in them to do it. So they're just envious and they're mad and they're pissed because that's what they really want to be saying, but they're not. So beta males and simps, they're really dangerous to you know, alpha males or just anybody else, any other male. They're dangerous because they're envious, they're jealous, they're spiteful, and they're ruining things. They're messing things up. They're messing things up, because a beta male goes through his day, a beta male simp goes through his day without getting any attention or effort from a woman. They get no confirmation, they get no love, appreciation, they get no positive feedback from women. They're just giving. They're just giving. They're just texting her constantly. Good morning. How's your day, my lady? How's your day going? Oh, you're doing this. They're trying to be as funny as possible, sending huge paragraphs. Oh, I just tried to FaceTime you. Are you gonna get back to me? Oh, okay. You're busy at work. Okay, and And the girl's just being super dry, like, yeah, I'm chilling. And they're like, oh, yeah, yeah, I'm chilling too. I was, yeah, this happened in the world. And, it reminded me of the time that you said this funny thing. And then she's just like, oh, yeah, that was funny. And the beta male is just getting all of his energy just drained. He's getting drained. He's getting more bitter. He's getting more spiteful. Because the alpha, the Chad, all he has to do is just come and just walk up to the scene. And then the woman just, her heart just starts throbbing for this man. Just throbbing. Like he doesn't have to go through all that nonsense that the guy did, that the beta did. Because this is a superior man. Biologically, this woman is already attracted. So the beta male, he's jealous, he's angry because he's never felt that before. He's never felt that. The beta male, he wasn't allowed to say these certain things. He wasn't allowed to say that women are stupid. He wasn't allowed to say that Indians stink or anything like that. He wasn't allowed to voice his real opinion because he because the girl would have been like, "Hey, what are you talking about?" And he would have folded. He would have folded, he would have shrunk. He wouldn't have rose to the occasion. And we're seeing this way too often. We're seeing this way too often. And then the Chad comes in and he's just like, "Hey, put your number in my phone." And then it's over. That's all he has to do. And the beta male's like, "Bro, I've been trying to make her feel like the look in her eyes she has for this man, the admiration that she has. I've been trying to make her feel that for years and years. But this guy just comes in in 20 seconds, he already, that's what they don't understand. That's what they don't understand, you know? And you can be a beta, you can be a simp, and you actually can ascend your way up to a Chad, to a high value man, to an alpha male, whatever you want to call it, a desired man. You can work your way up to that. That is possible. But first, in order for you to do that, you have to look yourself in the mirror and understand that you are a inferior man. That you are an inferior man. You are not living up to your capabilities. You are not living up to your potential. You could be way more. You could be much more than you are right now. That's where it starts. Okay, I can't talk to women. Okay, I'm not confident at all. Okay, I have no self esteem. Okay, I can't stand up for myself. Okay, and you got to go down the list. Every single undesirable trait that you have, you got to go down the list. You can't cope. That's what keeps a beta a beta. That's what keeps a simp a simp. You can't cope. You got to go through the list like genuinely, unbiased. You got to go through the list. Do you have confidence around women? Don't lie to yourself. Do you have self-esteem? Don't lie to yourself. Don't lie to yourself. You know, if if you're some girl was like, "Hey, do you think my friend is cute?" And she's hot. Are you gonna say she's hot, or are you gonna look around for validation to see what is politically correct, what is going to be socially acceptable for you to say? Are you gonna speak your mind? That's the thing. Women like men. They're already attracted to men. They're already attracted to men. Those man thoughts you're thinking, the men stuff going on in your brain that you want to say, you don't have to change it. That's the best thing about we rewiring your simp beta male brain. You were born already programmed correctly. You were already born programmed correctly. You just got socially brainwashed, and they just told you that actually girls love it when you make sure they're okay every 2 seconds. It's a lie. You've been lied to. So you just gotta unbrainwash yourself to just say what you want to say. That's the best part about it, because even I'll say stuff and I'll be thinking like, huh, is this like socially acceptable to say? But I just say it anyway because it's just what I think. And then somehow it ends up working out every time. Because this is something that a lot of people don't understand is we all come to the same conclusions up here. We all think the same. We all think the same. Okay, this girl is kind of cute, but her face is kind of like, eh, that's what I'm gonna say. And then people hear me explaining that and they're like, "Oh, yeah. That's what I was thinking." But they might say like, "I wouldn't say it like that." Well, yeah, you wouldn't say it like that because you're afraid to speak up you're afraid to speak unfiltered. You know, I don't have a filter. I'm just going to speak on it. That's the difference. And once you remove your filter as a man, you will no longer be a beta male simp. You might get laughed at, you might get beat up, you might get all of these things might happen to you. You might get a lot of negative pushback when you first start transitioning from a beta to a man because you're kind of stepping into a new position, you know? It's like when if you played quarterback your whole life and then you go to wide receiver, you're going to be a little bit rusty. Maybe you used to play wide receiver when you're like 7 years old. So it's going to take you some time to get, to 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 get back in those shoes. Because then even today, because I've unbrainwashed myself. I don't have a filter. I just say what it is. And even today, women will still try me like I'm going to give them a politically correct answer. Like for instance, I was talking about Frisco, right? Um with my cousin. That's a woman. And we were talking about Frisco and I said, "Yeah, I used to work at this place in Frisco." And I was like, "Man, it's just flooded with Indians. They're everywhere." And if you know Frisco, Texas, this is actually a really big issue. It's like we're getting invaded. Frisco specifically. And she gave me that look like not that look, like I can't even do the look, but you guys know that look. You know the look. You know the look. Like that look that Jada Pinkett Smith gave Will Smith before he went up and slapped Chris Rock. That type of look. She gave me that look. And a lot of guys right there would have been like, "Oh, well, I'm not racist or anything, but um, I just noticed that there's a lot of Indians, but I mean, I don't hate Indians. I'm not racist, but there's just a lot of Indians. I mean, I have Indian friends. Like, I eat Indian food. I love Indian food. Like, Indians are great, but." And then she's just gonna be sitting here giving you this death stare while you sit there and capitulate and explain yourself and fold like a lawn chair because she is controlling how you speak. And that's the problem. That's the problem. So what I said what I said. She gave me the look. I said, "What? It's true. Have you been to Frisco?" I said, "Have you been to Frisco?" Literally. Literally. I said, "What? Have you been there?" Now it's on her. Now it's on her. Because I literally said, "Have you been there?" You're not gonna hit me with that look. You're not gonna hit me with that look. Cause I'll say something way worse than that. And that's that freeing. And now I'm free. Now I'm free. Funny enough, now I'm free. So that the attitude, the energy that I move with, it's just a freeing energy. It's a freeing feeling because I'm just like, have you been there? I mean, because this is just an obvious truth everybody in the room knows. So, oh, so you're gonna try to get me to conform to how you feel and what you think? I don't think there's anything wrong with saying there's Indians flooded Frisco. So maybe you can tell me why you think it's wrong, but I'm gonna speak how I speak, you know. And I'm not even trying to claim myself as an alpha male or I'm this top G or anything like that, because that'd be kind of cringe to just knight myself as an alpha. But this is an informative video to help people because I feel like everybody was born a man. They were born wired the way they were supposed to be wired. God made you the way that you were supposed to be. He gave you the mindset you were supposed to have. He gave you the energy you were supposed to have. But you went out in the world, you started watching Friends, you started watching Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, you started watching Lizzie McGuire, started watching Hannah Montana, shit like that. And now all of a sudden you have women friends. You have women friends. And you're like, yeah, I just want to, you like her, you think she's attractive, but you don't want to ruin your friendship. Like, your brother, you're lost. Brother, you're already so down in the well that I don't even know where to start. Like, I've heard guys tell me this exact story. Like, yeah, I'm attracted to her and, I want to date her, but I just don't want to ruin our friendship, though. I don't even know what to say to that. I don't even know what to say to that. My heart goes out to every guy that's in a friendship with the women for no reason. Um, it's sad. You need to be devoting your time into yourself, into your family, because we have I don't know if you have a family, but hopefully you have a family. If I have a son, we have our family. He has his sisters, brothers, he has a mom, he has grandparents, parents, cousins, things like that. And as a man, I want him to be building himself up for the family. I want him to be doing stuff for the tribe, for the nation, for us. So when he's out here just gesture maxing with women, and it's like, sir, are you gonna marry this girl? No. Oh. Wait, so you're just going to the movies to just watch movies with her? Okay. And you're gonna pay? Got it. Okay. And then you guys are gonna get frozen yogurt next week? Okay. And you're just what? Just talking, having good conversations? Let me ask you this. How good are those conversations? How much fun are you having? How much fun are you having to completely just drain all the testosterone out of your body? Is it worth that? Is the fun worth it? Is the fun worth it? Think of the manliest guy you could ever think of. Think of the guy with the most aura you could ever possibly imagine. Think of the just think of him. Just think of him. Most competent, intelligent. All right. You got him in your head? All right. Now, imagine him getting frozen yogurt with the women platonically. You see how You see how your brain just malfunctioned? And that's what I'm trying to, that's the message I'm trying to deliver, guys. So just remove your filter, deprogram yourself, factory reset your brain to be the man you were meant to be.